At that stage, I made the At that stage, I made the decision to go to this address and ask these suspects for whether or not they have proof of residency in our country. And since I had information that were possibly wanted, my intention was to take them down to the Outback police station in order to morpho touch or verify at least their true identities.
I didn't quite get to the first one. You said that you intended to take them to the police station to
morpho touch or plea. It's a system where we can take the fingerprints, we scan the fingerprints, and it will tell us whether or not the suspects are wanted on any cases. My reasoning behind this was that if we could come and obtain their true identities, we could possibly, by utilizing a platform that's being utilized by real estate agents, put their ID numbers or identities through the system that could verify all possible premises that's either being owned or leased by these accused, with the hope that we can ascertain the address of Kulani Gardens where the warehouse for the narcotics is. The informers also went on to inform us that these two accused has got a lot of money that they have in Bitcoin or something, but due to the fact that they have money available to them, they've got connections to prominent gang members, as well as access to law enforcement officers that's on their payroll. Irrespective of this, we then went to the informers took us to an address in Ndabna, where access was gained by this house by simply jumping over the wall and opening the gate from the inside. To just explain how this house looks. The front wall is much higher than what the physical house is. You look down from the wall onto the house. And the whole front of the house, the bottom floor, has got glass from floor to ceiling. And in the middle of this glass wall, was a glass door that was open.
Mr. Groenewald, did you or any of your members disguise yourselves?
We gave the informant, we discussed the informant and gave him a balaclava to wear, since he had to point out the suspects to us and he was personally known to them. Due to this fact, and not wanting the informant to be the only one wearing a mask as to stand out, myself and Constable Minard only also covered our faces with a buff. Constable Mafanya and Constable Sudati had nothing over their faces at all. Upon entering the premises, somebody inside the house saw us and made our presence aware to the rest of the occupants, which we can see from getting over the gate. We can see right through the house to the back of it that there was people sitting there. And upon somebody warning them that we're coming, there was a scatter at the back, and we could see individuals jumping up and running out the back door.
Mr. Groenewald, did you not also mention your arrival?
It was at that stage when I saw the scramble at the back and people running out the back door that I screamed very loudly, I'm sure loud enough for all the neighbors to hear as well. South African police, get down. At that stage, I saw people running out the back door. I entered the front door with my colleagues, some of them trying to go to the left or just cover the front of the house, and I ran right through the house to follow them at the back, where they jumped over a glass wall to get by a swimming pool to get out and away from us. Unfortunately, once I made my way, I couldn't just run through the house because there's rooms that I had to pass. So I made as fast as what I can, but still keeping my own safety also in mind. And once I got to the back and looked around, I made my way around the house to the front again without being able to locate these people that ran out the back. I then re-entered the house through the front door, and my colleagues has been at that stage gone through the house, and all the occupants that was left in the house was brought to one central point at the bottom floor. At that stage, there was one female, African female, and two African males present, still in the house. For safety reasons, the two males was cable tied, and the female was never restrained since she had no.
I didn't quite get that.
For safety reasons, the two males that we got, there was also trying to scramble at the back, was grabbed and they were the cable tied with their hands together. After making sure that everything was safe for us to proceed, and since the informer then informed me that the suspects that we were there for was no longer present, it must have been them that ran out the back. I'm not sure of how many people ran out the back, but I saw at least two, it might have been three. We then went on to search the house for any ID documents, passports, home affairs papers, anything that could lead us to their true identities, as well as looking for possible municipal accounts or something of a premises situated in Kulani Gardens where the drugs that we were looking for might be kept. In order to do the search, we split up into three groups since there was three occupants in the house when we entered it. We then searched the house with each group with an occupant of the house that was present in the house with us at all times. In order to oversee, if we did find something that they can't say later that we planted it there or something, or take something out without them knowing about it.
Was there any firearms exposed at any time?
Your Honor, I was the only one with a firearm on my service pistol. The other 3 policemen is not even issued with state firearms. They have to, if need be, book out firearms in and out. So they were never in possession of firearms at all. And at no stage did I even draw my firearm from my holster, as there was no need to do so. And as I was running as well, and climbing over a glass wall from the pool, I ran right through the house, and by the time I came in the front, there was no need to draw my firearm at all. We then searched the premises with these individuals with us. As I got to the main bedroom, I witnessed, as I opened the cupboards, there was multiple boxes, Rolex boxes, Cartier watch boxes, expensive jewelry boxes. All of them empty. Now this intrigued me tremendously, since on Thursday, the 12th of September, we assisted Kensington Police Station in also raiding a house for a possible cybercrime suspect. Where a Nigerian male was arrested and detained by the Kensington detectives. And inside this building, we saw exactly the same as what we found on the scene of in question. Also, Rolex and Cartier watch boxes, all of them empty. So, obviously being curious to this, I asked the Nigerian male that accompanied me during the search. I asked him, I even made a joke. I said to him, what is the story with the empty boxes? And I asked him if it was just to impress the ladies. To which he in turn informed me that these items had been purchased online with Bitcoin. Then, upon receiving these items, the items gets taken to various jewelry stores. A Rolex watch, as I've been informed, the warranty remains in the original owner's name. So what they do is, they give the jewelry stores these jewelry to sell on their behalf. Once a potential customer comes in that wants to purchase such item, the serial numbers and stuff on it gets corresponded with the register, and they can see who the owner is, and they can notify the owner to please come down with the item's box and warranty, where then they will proceed to put the watch or whatever it is inside this box, and a sale purchase is then done. After which the jewelry store pays out the original owner in cash. Which in my opinion gives the person who owns the watch a perfect opportunity to turn Bitcoin into currency. and to not have a bank account in their own name registered to a Bitcoin wallet as would normally happen. At that moment, I could see headlights coming up towards the house. And I left my Nigerian male that accompanied me alone behind to go and investigate who it was that was coming in from the front. I also, I forgot to mention that after the people ran away and before we started the search, since there was no need, because the people that could recognize the informant, since they were no longer present, we all removed our face buffs, since there was no more need for it. Which brings me to, this can be confirmed by the PPA security guard, which was the one that was pulling up the front of the house at that stage. I then went to this PPA security guard, and he came towards me and he said that they received a complaint of some sort of this house. And I informed him that we were there looking for the 2 Nigerian males that lives at this residence. I then told him that they ran out the back of the house, where in turn he informed me that, well, if they ran at the back, on the left side of this house is a network of footpaths used by residents of Llandudno to walk their dogs or just to go on a stroll or something. I then re-entered the house. Oh, sorry, before I
Did you identify yourself to this security guard?
That's correct, yes. When he arrived there, first of all, I was in full uniform with my ranks on my side of my shoulders and my name badge on my chest, like I always have. He still made a comment asking me, did you guys come all the way from Samora Michelle? Since Constable Minna's bakkie was Samora Michelle bakkie. I then informed him that no, we are from Operation Restore. We just utilize different stations' vehicles. I then proceeded to tell him that I am Sergeant Groenewald in order for him to give feedback to his control room. Upon re-entering the house, I found that the Nigerian male that accompanied me while doing the search, that I left alone when going to investigate who was pulling up the front, has also now ran out the back of the house, unfortunately. It was then that I found a Nigerian male ID card that has also expired in, I think, 2014 or something. I then took this ID card in order to take it for processing and see to determine whether or not there's any outstanding warrants of arrest on this person. Also to determine if I can't locate the premises in the Colony Gardens. It was inside a card holder that I saw no significance of, and I was unaware up until our last proceedings that we were in this court that apparently the small little card holder that the card was in is of an expensive nature, even though I couldn't see any difference between that and any other card holder that I've seen the scene. Also, what I excuse me, also what I neglected to tell you is, when we did the house in Kensington, upon exiting this house, it's in table view, and between the house and the road, the sidewalk is grass growing on it.
And you're going to keep there, so that.
So, excuse me?
Is that like when you did to the house?
The house in Kensington,
now you're referring to Tableview.
that's correct, yes, sorry. On the night, as I just referred to the house we did in Kensington, where I saw also a lot of Rolex boxes and car boxes was empty. Okay. Okay, so at the night we were at Kensington, upon exiting the house, after an arrest was made, I kicked a little jewelry box that was lying between the wall and the road in the grass that was also empty. And without thinking anything of it, I was busy trying to get my bulletproof off as we were going home from there. I put it on the bucky's back seat, and I took my bulletproof off, also put it on the back seat, all in while being thanked by Kingston Police for assisting them in this way. This jewelry box was found by the investigating team in my possession, still located in the back of my bucky. And it did not come from the scene in Ndutna as they would state. The only thing that I took from that house was the ID card, okay, and the card holder it was in, of which I didn't think of anything at the time. And the sole purpose of that was merely to do police work as what we would normally do, since the occupants was no longer present, for us to take them to our police station. To get back to the evening in question, after finding the card and after we found that the rest of the search is fruitless, I cut loose the remaining Nigerian male of his restraints. We then left the scene, and I instructed the possible minor to follow me with his vehicle, and we didn't leave towards the exit of Ndutna in order to get away. We first drove to the left of the house, where the PPA security guy told us that there's a network of footpaths where these guys could have disappeared into. There we utilized our vehicles to shine the headlights of the vehicles onto the footpath to see if we can't locate these people. While standing there, the Nigerian male that I cut loose from inside the house came out to me and asked me, where is his cell phone? I then informed him that his cell phone was lying on the kitchen table. He ran back inside, and when, after looking for the suspects, we couldn't find it, and we proceeded to leave from the scene, since the people that was still inside the house we had no information on or was of no interest to us. He came out, taking photos of our buggies, threatening us while doing so. All of this happened in clear view of the PPA security on-response officer that has reversed his buggy to such a way that he at all times had both our vehicles and the house in question in his plain sight. And, well,
Mr. Grabal, how did he threaten you?
he was just screaming that people die.
And that was in the presence of PPA security.
That was while running after our buggies. With the cell phone that he went to go fetch inside the house, but I told him it was.
Now, this threatening man was present in the house from the beginning up to the end.
That's correct, yes.
And did he make any mention to the PPA security guard of anything that was stolen, such as Rolexes, Cartier watches, iPhones, jewelries, laptops, 2 Lamborghinis keys, and that of a BMW?
Not that I recall. Not while we were there. I also find it funny that one of my co-accused was informed by the investigating team that he is linked to this crime due to fingerprints found on a laptop inside the house. But at the same time, we're being charged for theft of laptops and cell phones. I can't understand why we would have left that if we robbed the place. Also, I find it funny that we do this on a daily basis, Your Honor. I had gloves in my possession, in my work bag in the bakkie, winter gloves, that I could have utilized to cover my fingerprints. As police officers, we know the procedures that's followed in house robberies or something like that. We could have covered our fingerprints, but none of us wore gloves or anything to prevent any police action coming and finding our fingerprints on the scene. As I can't emphasize this enough, there was very little of this operation that I didn't do numerous times on a daily basis.
How long did this search take?
I didn't keep an eye on my watch, but I presume it was between 25 to 30 minutes at least.
Now, the prosecutor on a previous occasion mentioned to the court that the Rolexes, Cartier watches, jewelry, iPhones, laptops, and the keys of 2 Lamborghinis and a BMW to the value of plus minus 20 million rand was put into duffel bags. Did any of you have duffel bags?
No, none at all. We exited the house with nothing. I mean, the PPA security, like I said, was in plain sight with his headlights on us the whole time, and he will attest that we never left with anything except a small little ID card holder that was in my possession. I can't see the need for stealing vehicles' keys in any case. Excuse me, sir.
What is your opinion of all these empty boxes that you've now seen in 2 days?
Well, like I said, I couldn't hold my curiosity. That's why I asked the Nigerian Mail for an explanation of it, which he provided. And in hindsight, it makes perfect sense if you want to turn Bitcoin into any country's currency for that matter. You can just buy expensive something online and have it to a jeweler to sell on your behalf, and they pay it out in cash or in currency. And that was the explanation of this Nigerian Mail to us, which makes perfectly sense to me.
I've explained to you that I phoned Van Dale Jewelers in Tiger Valley, who's agents of Rolexes and Cartiers. Agents.
That's correct, yes.
And what did I tell you?
You explained to me that Rolex only gets sold to registered agents, and that in my mind I can't see these guys being agents. I wasn't made aware about it. The informant never told me that they're agents for Rolex or anything like that. So I can't see why they would be in possession of that. I know that there's also a lot of fake Rolexes that does do rounds. I'm not saying as per se that these ones were fake that they're talking about. I'm just saying that there was nothing present when I was there. But it's highly unlikely to have between 30 and 32 boxes or something, multiple boxes of these kind of valuables just lying around empty. If it is legitimate multi-million rand items. Which is my opinion, of course. That's yeah.
You said there was a safe in the main bedroom.
There was a safe in the main bedroom. It was standing open with also multiple jewelry boxes.
When was that evidence left?
Sorry?
I did not get that testimony unless I'm making a mistake.
I'm asking him now. If there was a safe.
No, your question was, you said that there was a safe in the bedroom. Hence I'm asking, when was that evidence left?
He hasn't explained it yet.
He hasn't explained that yet.
He hasn't yet.
Oh, let's hear it.
I apologize for that. Yes, there was a safe in the main bedroom standing open. Inside the safe was just more empty jewelry boxes. There was nothing in the safe of significance at all. As a matter of fact, the only thing that I saw in the safe was a Mercedes-Benz spare key, still wrapped in plastic, which was left untouched. Well, I picked it up, but I put it down again. It's in the safe. That's the only car keys that I saw in the safe, except for empty boxes of jewelry.
And watches.
And well, the watches, the watch boxes is the watch. This Rolex boxes and the Cartier boxes is it's a bit bulky, but that was in a cupboard. There was no Rolex and Cartier boxes inside the safe as per se. It was all flattish boxes. That was empty.
Now, after your arrest, what happened?
Well, we left that scene, I'm not sure of the time, could be around 2 o'clock or something like that, we left the scene. The next day, afternoon, I reported for work as normal with the ID card in my possession in order to disclose this information to my senior officer and see if we could still follow the process of locating this drug premises in Killarney. Unfortunately, as I came from parade, I was arrested by the investigating team. And after my arrest, they searched my vehicle. They found the license card holder with the ID net and the box that had no reference to the scene at all. And then from there, they went to my house. They searched my house where nothing was located. Before that, we first went to go to Guguletu where Constable Minnar was arrested. And then from Guguletu we went to my house where my house was searched. And from there we went to Kraaifontein where Constable Minnar's house was searched. With none of the stolen property.
Sorry, can you just slow down?
Sorry.
A lot of brain space going there.
I apologize. Sorry, sir. So after my arrest, we went to Guguletu to arrest Constable Minnar, after which we then went to my house to search my house. And then from there we went to Kraaifontein to search Constable Minnar's house. And then from there we were detained. I was detained at Wynberg, where I think that Constable Minnar was detained in Claremont, of which we appeared on the Tuesday, and then sent to Portsmouth.
Now, this is where the state alleges they got this empty jewelry box which is linked to the Blantyre.
They found it while searching my vehicle before my arrest. at Squadron, where they searched my vehicle and they found it still present on the back seat.
And where does that jewelry box come from?
Comes from the Kensington house that we did the night before the night.
Tableview House,
Tableview, Sunningdale area, yes.
assisted by the Kensington Police.
That's correct, yes. We assisted them.
Okay, let's do this. The evidence now that you're leading, where does it come from? Because it was not placed before the court. The evidence that is before the court is with regard to the Kensington house. Unless I'm losing the evidence somewhere.
I apologize. I'm sorry. It's just.
No, I'm referring to your legal representative. Your legal representative was putting questions that were evidence that was not led.
It was led.
Before this court. You mentioned Kensington and partly Tableview. When I questioned about it, you corrected that.
Your Worship,
What am I missing?
Kensington Police came and asked them for assistance to raid a Tableview house in
Yes.
Sunningdale. That is where the box comes from. He has testified to that.
The Sunningdale pipe is coming to on the record for the first
It
time.
falls under Tableview.
No, Sunningdale is a sub-district of Tableview, sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Excuse me. Apologize.
Now, the reason why I'm asking about this jewelry box, after that raid in Tableview, did you inform your commanding officer, Captain Steerman and Sergeant Kuhn, about the information that you have received that night from the informers?
That's correct, yes. I informed him that about the Weinberg address that I still have to verify, and that there's a possible lead on a warehouse in Killarney Gardens, but I'll get back to them as soon as the info is confirmed.
And that was on the 13th.
The day of the 13th, yes. Which is part of the reason why my captain released me earlier in order to go and follow up this information.
Okay. Now, this parade that you attended the day of your arrest, what time was it?
It's 2 o'clock
2 o'clock in the
afternoon.
on the 14th.
On my birthday, yes.
What medical conditions do you suffer of?
I do suffer from depression and high blood pressure. I'm just gonna, excuse me, I just want to get the correct, because I wrote it all down for the the medication that I'm currently utilizing for my high blood pressure is that I get evaluated on every 6 months by my doctor. Is I'm on Coragen 4 milligrams, Zartan 100 milligrams, and Aspervar 20, the 20 milligram one. I also need to just say that upon receiving my medication on the 1st of September, all of them were marked with a sticker that says last repeat new prescription is required, which means I can't get new medication at the current moment due to having to be reevaluated by my doctor.
So you've already testified. to this effect, but I want you to just state, why do you think that you are a suitable candidate to be released on bail? Why do you think so?
Well, first of all, I've been a police officer, and I'm still a police officer as I'm standing here now, for 17 years. At Operation Restore, we work on the 11 most dangerous areas in the Western Cape to try and resolve crime, which I do every day to the best of my ability. I've never been charged with a crime like this. Sorry. And
May I ask you
Can I please ask for 5 minutes adjournment, please?
an objection?
Now, Mr.
Participate for 5 minutes and
All right.
the witness to settle down.